Megan Pennington.
I'm Megan. I'm Erie.
I'm a cognitive behavior therapist here at Open Doors Agency.
Okay. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
What's this?
Yes, this is Waylon. This is our therapy dog. So if you're comfortable with animals, I just want to ask before.
No, he's amazing. I love animals. So cute.
Yes.
He's a puppy.
He is. He's 15 weeks.
Oh, he's so cute.
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're loving it.
Yes, we'll take a seat, make yourself
No,
comfortable.
I'm an animal lover, so
Good.
yeah. So that just makes it feel like home.
Great.
Hi.
Great.
How are you?
All right. And you said your name was Carrie. Is that what you prefer to be called?
Yes.
Okay. Great.
What do I call you?
So
Megan.
you can call me anything you'd like. Megan is preferable.
Okay.
That works for you.
Sure.
All right. So welcome, first of all. So how is parking? I know our lot's a little small.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little small. It's sort of like that thing I had to wait for somebody to pull out so I could pull in kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm sure you don't have a ton of people with appointments at the same time, so I'm sure it's not going to be a problem. But yeah, a little small, but the building's nice and new, and it was kind of easy to get off. The access to the main road was easy to get off and on, so it doesn't seem like it's way back, to where you're driving 2 miles to get on the main road. So no, I think it's a great location. Building's nice and new.
Yes.
We got a little therapy guy here, so
Yes. Hopefully he'll be good. He's still in training,
that's
but
okay. That's all right. We all have to be in training, but yeah, so it's good.
Okay, great. Yeah, this just a little bit about the building, and we've been here for 3 years, so
Okay.
fairly new. Open Doors Agency is it's been around for a while, but we just came into this new location, so
Okay.
I'm glad that it's accessible.
Yeah,
And
it's good.
yeah, definitely share that feedback. Awesome. So just to kind of give you a little idea of how our session's going to go today.
Okay.
So I want to get to know you a little bit better. Discuss any hardships that you may be facing.
Okay.
I also want to orient you to the kind of therapy we do here, which is cognitive behavior therapy. And then we'll set an agenda about what we want to do in this session and future sessions.
Okay.
And then at the end, I will ask for your feedback, and we'll decide how sessions will go in the future.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome. So here at Open Doors, we practice therapy a little bit differently. By using what we call cognitive behavior therapy. Are you familiar with that at all?
I've heard the term before, but I don't know the ins and outs of exactly what it entails.
Okay. So I'll go into that in just a little bit. However, I wanted to start off with making you aware of a few things.
Okay.
Just how information that you share here is going to be handled.
Okay.
So what you state here today will be completely confidential. However, there are a few exceptions to that rule that I want you to be aware of.
Okay.
So these include if I feel that you are a threat to yourself or harm to others. If I need to share with my supervisor or consult with her in any way, that'll be an exception. Also, if you give me informed consent to share with any specific individuals, I can also do that as well. Perhaps that's a provider or anyone that you care to share information with. I'll have to get your permission, of course, but I can also do that.
Okay.
Then the last one is if for some reason there's a court-ordered appeal that has to have my attention regarding the case, then I'll have to give up information as well.
Sounds very formal.
Yes.
Sounds
Yes.
kind of scary. But
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Okay.
I mean, I get it, but more or less, I mean, unless it's something like you were saying, life-threatening, you would need my permission to share with anybody.
Yes, absolutely.
Court-ordered, life-threatening, I get it. Okay.
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
Okay, that makes sense. Do you have
Yes.
more questions? Okay. Okay. So now let's talk a little bit about cognitive behavior therapy and what it is. So kind of in simple terms, it involves things that we think influence our feelings and emotions, kind of plain and simple. So the goal is to kind of discuss any presenting hardships that you have and strive to kind of pinpoint the thoughts that are entering our minds either before those feelings occur or during those feelings. And through the process, we can learn to kind of think different thoughts and those kind of express different emotions. And hopefully we can kind of think about those more positively.
Oh no, that means teaching old dog new tricks. I'm the old dog. I said it, not you. But you know how some people say, "Oh, it's hard to think when you get older." I think you just have that mindset of things are always this way, or that way.
Right.
So I guess it's just a different approach to
Yes.
thinking of things a little differently, like you said. So
Mhm.
okay, well, hey, that sounds good to me.
Great. Great.
Okay.
All right. So tell me a little bit about what brought you in here today.
Okay. Well, my main thing was I moved after being in the same neighborhood for 18 years.
Mhm.
So moved, and so I'm in a new neighborhood. It's a little different. I love the neighborhood, but not the old neighbors. I mean, I know that's kind of a cliche kind of thing, but these people I grew up with, we had kids that were the same age. We celebrated birthdays and anniversaries and graduations, and kind of the same age. We had one lady that was a little older, but most of us were the same age. We all moved in at the same time. So it was kind of like our little piece of the neighborhood. You know, nobody could come in, nobody could go out kind of thing. It was kind of our little piece. And then, so we moved after 18 years, which is tough. My new neighborhood is a little different. It's kind of different ages, ranging from 30s to like people that are already retired.
Mhm.
So the spectrum is wider. Some of them have kids, some of them have like really young kids, and then some of them, of course, are retired. They don't have kids at all. They have grandkids. So just connecting with my new neighbors and trying to make my new house, a home. I'm trying to find my ground, or trying to find a balance. I'm kind of having a hard time with that. When we first moved in, it's been about 8 months since we moved, but when we first moved in, our daughter was finishing up college, and she left in December. So now, besides moving into a new neighborhood and having new neighbors and having a longer commute to work and that kind of thing, now she's moved out. So now I'm like, okay, so now I'm an empty nester.
Mhm.
So just those are a couple of triggers for me right now.
Mhm.
So I'm having a hard time with just feeling good about the move and feeling positive about the new things that have happened.
Mhm.
You know, my daughter out on her own. Of course, I'm glad she's out on her own, but yeah, I mean, I miss her like crazy, and so I mean, it's making it tough.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, you know, just ways to kind of handle the good things. It's not anything bad by any means.
Mhm.
So I'm trying not to look at it in a negative way. So just to handle it in a more positive way.
Okay. So that definitely all makes sense. Very normal feelings. So it kind of seems to me that you're kind of craving those relationships that you once had from your old neighborhood.
Right.
And it kind of seems that you're not really getting that, or you're not really sure as to the right approach of how to make those establishing relationships with newer
Right.
people.
It was a comfort zone for me.
Yeah.
I had worked so long to get the camaraderie up with my neighbors, and so then I felt good about it. Now I feel like, oh gosh, I have to start all over again and do that all over. And I'm not a person that likes that kind of challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I like everything to stay the same, and I know what's happening tomorrow, and I know who's going where, and that kind of thing. So that's kind of my challenge.
Okay. And then I also heard you saying your daughter recently moved out, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And that you're used to having her there.
Right.
For the most
Right.
part. And you three as a family did move together, correct?
Yes, we did.
Okay. And so now that she's kind of gone off and done her own thing, she is your only child.
Yes.
And it kind of seems that you want to be able to still have that relationship with her while, both doing your own thing, but making sure that you come together and do things together. Right. Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So I'd definitely like to talk more about these feelings in our future sessions.
Okay.
However, for this session, I'd like to ask you what some goals are that you expect kind of out of this different therapy, out of working with me, out of working together as a team.
Okay.
And if it's okay with you, I'd like to write down some of those goals, just so that we can hold each other accountable and we can look back on them in future sessions.
Okay.
If that's okay with
That
you.
sounds like a plan.
Okay. So we're going to start off with writing down 3 goals.
Okay.
So I will write down the first one, and then if it's okay with you, I'll have you kind of take over and write down the other 2.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So we'll start with number 1. What would your first goal be?
I guess to stay connected with my daughter, even though she's an adult and out on her own and doesn't need me as much, just to keep that relationship strong and to stay connected with her.
Okay. So stay connected with daughter. Okay. And we'll write down our second one. I will hand this off to you.
Okay.
So what would another goal of yours be?
I guess I don't know how to put it in words, but I guess to, reach out to my neighbors and to try to, maybe if I just focus on one, sometimes I think I overwhelm myself thinking I have to know all my neighbors, because I did on my other street. I just didn't know this house and this house. I mean, we knew everybody on that street. So, trying to figure out in my own way. My husband is very social and he talks to them all the time. But I guess in my own way, trying to feel a connection with my new neighbors and trying to make my house a home.
Okay.
So, I don't know. I guess I could put, Megan, I guess I could just say that I want to reach out to my new neighbors.
Okay.
Reach out to neighbors. And make my house a home.
Okay.
Make my house more of a home, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, reach out to my neighbors, and like I said, it doesn't have to be more than that.
Right.
More than one, and then make my house feel more like a home.
Okay. Yeah. So that's definitely a good first
Okay.
step to doing that. Okay. And let's think of one more goal that you'd like to achieve.
Well, as I mentioned, my daughter moved out, so as when you have kids, your main goal when you're married and have kids are your kids. You talk about them. It's all about your kids. You're, not really a couple anymore until they leave. So I guess now it's I want to stay connected with my daughter. I guess it would be to reconnect with my husband.
Okay.
So, all right, so I'll put just 3 I'm just going to put reconnect
Okay.
with husband. Because it's hard. I've been married 33 years, and we, that's all we know is, we have, of course, you had mentioned it before, we just have one child, but it's all been about her. So now it's kind of like we look at each other and go, who are you? What did we do before we had kids? You're just trying to, we're just trying to figure out what we do.
Yeah.
I know it sounds kind of juvenile, but when it's been all about your kids for so long, it's kind of hard to bring that back, especially since we are older and, but yeah, so, I think those are 3 good goals.
Okay. Great. Yeah, it definitely sounds like a great start.
Okay.
And we're definitely going to implement these goals over our weeks or months together.
Okay.
So that they can be reachable for you. So the more time we spend together, the more time we get to know each other, work together collaboratively, we can find ways for you to achieve these goals.
Yay!
Sound good?
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Okay. So let me go ahead and ask you, what does your schedule look like this next upcoming week?
So I'm still working. I'm a teacher. I teach kindergarten. And another thing that kind of goes along with, I'm pretty one of those no change, stable, continuity kind of people. I've been at the same place for 30 years. I've taught kindergarten first. So I was trying to get that, but you were asking me my schedule. Sorry.
No, yeah.
But so my schedule, like I'm done, like 2 o'clock. So like that, later afternoon to early evening is a good time for me.
Okay.
So I'm pretty flexible.
Okay.
So, and it doesn't take me long to get here from either work or home. So,
okay.
I'm pretty flexible with my schedule.
Okay, great. And I know you had mentioned you were a teacher. What grade do you teach?
Right now, I teach kindergarten. I've taught first before, and I teach kindergarten now.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's another thing. But I love it, or I wouldn't be doing it as long as I've done it.
Right.
So, yeah, it presents its challenges like any profession, but it's something that I've wanted to do since I was a kid. So, yeah, here I am, still doing it. I really don't know what I would do outside of teaching. I'm kind of looking towards the retirement years, but I would still have to work because I won't be old enough. But I don't know what I would do. I might still stay in the field of education, maybe do some tutoring or stuff like, something like that. But I'm just kind of, the technology is kind of really challenging for me. Not in a bad way, it's a great thing, but it's just hard for me to, with my colleagues that are coming up that are younger and they've done that throughout their whole college career, it's hard for me to keep up.
With any job, of course, technology is on the rise. And
you gotta stay with the times.
Yeah, I'm definitely still trying to learn things that, are new to me as well,
Right.
so I definitely understand. But it seems that the way you're kind of talking about it, you did find your passion, and that you kind of followed your little career path. So that's definitely, a positive that you can definitely look at. Yeah. So when you look into this next week, are there any difficulties or any hardships that you can kind of foresee maybe taking place?
Well, I guess, every day I'm waking up to, I was talking about one of my goals, making my house more of a home. And to bring up my daughter again, she just moved into an apartment and she's already got things on the wall and she's got decorations up and she knew exactly in her mind how she wanted it. And me, I'm still 8 months in and I have nothing on the walls and I'm just kind of like, I just don't really know I'm just not feeling it. So I guess that's a trigger when I wake up every morning. Because I'm like, oh, okay, it still looks the same way it did yesterday. And sometimes I'll get in the mode of looking for things and trying to do things, and then I kind of just get out of it. But, I'm hoping talking with you that gets a little bit easier, or I find some ways to help with that. Reaching out to my neighbors with summer coming up, I have more time at home. So I'm hoping that, that gives me some extra time to reach out to my neighbors. Because everybody during the school year is very busy and your schedules conflict. But in the summer, at least, I think not everybody, most people's schedules are a little more flexible. So I'm hoping with schedules being a little more flexible, I can kind of connect with one or two, of my neighbors, and maybe I can find me a walking partner. I like to walk, so maybe I can find me a walking partner. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So like I said, waking up every day, that's the kind of gets me the trigger. And then waking up and my daughter not being there, and it's just me and my husband. That's kind of a sad note too. You're kind of like, oh, I wish she was here. So, but I think all three of these are kind of just in my face every day. Things that I would really like to try to accomplish to make better. I feel like these, and they're not life-threatening. They're not really negative,
Mhm.
but for me to feel better and for me to do better and to feel better about my move and my daughter being gone, I feel like these are things that I want to make better.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. And I can already kind of see you connect with our behavioral approach because, we have written down these goals and they do prove hardships as, would anything, but you're also you're finding the positives that, you are doing, even though you did mention that, you do wake up and you have these feelings that, oh, like maybe I should be doing more, or maybe I should be trying to find ways to, connect with my neighbors or find other ways to connect with my husband. But you are doing things positive, and I'm glad that you are able to kind of have self-awareness of that. And I did want to just kind of,
thanks.
bring that up. Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice to have the little pat on the back that I'm at least headed in the right direction.
Yeah,
I just need a little help to get over the hurdle, I guess.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense, absolutely. But you're definitely starting off out great, and that's something good, positive that I like to see. So when you're talking about these difficulties kind of relating to your goals, so this upcoming week, I want you to try to focus on those feelings that you have, when you're feeling maybe alone or you're feeling that you could be doing a little bit, more as far as connecting with others. So when you have those feelings, I want you to write them down for me.
Okay.
So we can do it in the same kind of format as we did with our goals. So pick maybe, let's say, 3 situations that maybe occur during the week, and then you could do it in a bullet form or short sentences, however you'd like to conduct that, and then write under the situation how you were feeling about it.
Okay.
Does it seem some
yeah, I mean that's pretty doable. So
okay, great. So I also want you to think about some important people in your life right now. Who would those people be?
Well, of course, my daughter, my husband. I have a sister, a younger sister. My parents are still alive, so that's a big thing. The people I work with, I love. A lot of people can't say that, but I work with a great group of girls that are kind of my second family because I spend more time with them than I do my real family. So I would, I have to say I have a good support group. I do have somebody that I can lean on if I need to. I try not to, because I was just brought up, that kind of makes you look weak, or well, maybe you've got this by yourself. You can do this, and I tend not to, because I feel like sometimes I don't want my things or my, not issues, but my isms, I don't want those to bring people down. I don't want to bring other people down with my little problems. So I tend not to do that. So, but I have a great support system though.
Yeah, well, it's great to hear. And I know that you had said, maybe you don't feel those established relationships or, forms of connectedness with your new neighbors now, but you did just mention a lot of people, and I do want to kind of, make you aware of that. And so you do have people that you can lean on for, support at times when you're feeling alone, or maybe you feel like you want to talk to somebody. And, you do have those people in your circle. So,
I do.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm lucky.
Yes. And, it's great to see you, realize that as well.
Right.
So
I think you tend to forget, or you forget or not, you take those people for granted. And I'm always the first one to reach out and say, I'm the support person, but we know that it goes both ways. So.
Yeah. And I just wanted to kind of reiterate, so just by a little shifting of your focus, you see that you do have others that you can count on in times of need.
Right.
So that's definitely a positive that you can look at. So these are things that I want you to be thinking about this next upcoming week.
Okay.
So we've gotten to know each other a little bit better. We talked about our agenda. We set our goals that we can go talk about in future sessions. So when you come in next time, I'm going to ask you what you'd like to talk about specifically.
Okay.
So maybe out of the 3 situations that you're going to write down, maybe there was one that really maybe triggered you a little bit more than the others, or maybe you're just kind of feeling, indifferent about one of them in some sort of way. So if there's anything specific, we can definitely talk about that. And then if you can kind of think about those, if there is a specific one that kind of comes to mind before we do meet next time, so that we can just dive right on into that.
Oh, okay. That'll work.
Okay, great. So we'll just kind of go over your goals really quick.
Okay.
So we had said to stay connected with your daughter, to reach out to your neighbors, and along with that, kind of making your house more of a home, and then reconnecting with your husband.
Okay,
Does
that's it.
that sound right? Okay.
Check.
Great. So now I'd like to get your feedback on the session and how you think it kind of went, how, our relationship, maybe seemed to blossom, or how.
I mean, it was good. I felt comfortable. You were asking me some personal stuff before you kind of dive in on, sort of like a little different than going to the doctor and he's like, okay, what's your problem?
Mm-hmm.
This is how I can fix it, So, and I know it's not that, but I like the personal aspect that, I am a person, not somebody that you know, but I am a person, and yeah, it's hard for me to come and talk with somebody about things that are going on. Because I always feel like I can fix it on my own. So it was kind of nerve-wracking to come do that. He helped. I was sleeping. But I think it kind of takes the edge off of it. It doesn't seem so formal. And I like how you're sitting beside of me and not across from me. I know that just some I've seen like on TV or something, that people would sit across from you. I feel like you want to share with me things that are going to happen instead of tell me what to do. So I did like about that. But I think it's good. I feel comfortable. I mean, this was just our first session, so, I feel comfortable that in times going on or going forward that, I feel like we can connect and I can be honest and, so, yeah, I feel good.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that. And I know a big goal of mine personally is just to kind of make you feel that I am someone that you can talk to. I am someone that you can come to. And then also that, I want you to feel comfortable, and I want you to know that I'm here to work with you. I'm here to work. We're a team. We're gonna, build on future sessions, and I want to be there for you ultimately.
Okay.
And I hope that, and as time moves on, we can start to form a relationship. And
Okay.
See where that goes. So
That'll work.
Great. All right. Well, it was nice to meet you, Harry.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
He's a good boy.
Yeah. I'm glad he was good today. He's still in training, but he did good today.
That's okay. You made me feel at ease. Well, thank you.
All right,
I
nice to
appreciate your
meet
time.
you.
Nice to meet you too.
I'll see you next time.
Okay.